Welcome back to SwitchCorner. It's time for our weekly look at what's coming up over this next week on the Nintendo Switch. While I wouldn't consider this one a monster week, there are some real strong contenders fighting to earn that cash in your bank. Also, I gotta say, a few of them, they're seriously overdue. Here though, just know I don't cover everything, but rather those games that are simply, just catching my eye. So if I do miss anything I should be checking out, let me know in the comments down below. With that then, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. Okay, so let's start things off super chill, lo-fi ping pong. When I saw it at first, my initial instinct, honestly, at this price, shovelware. But the more digging I've done, the more I just really like this idea. In fact, I've gone from not interested at all to actually pretty excited for it. At this price, I won't be waiting on reviews. I'm just going to dive in, go day one. And I will add it's out on Steam, and reviews there, they are seriously positive, with just over 300 active players commenting on the game. The idea, it's a meditative rhythm ping pong experience that basically relax to some beats, and the ball of course moves in time with the music, offering then a single player story to unlock more tracks, 6 different locations to experience, and then gameplay modifications like it seems you can increase or decrease the speed of the beats per minute. It looks like it may be a good one, just as I say, to chill to. The only thing it seems that's missing, the PC does include split screen local multiplayer, but I see no mention of that here on the eShop. Alright, so Puyo Tetris was a launch title on the Switch, and while reviews, they were good, I wouldn't call them great. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see what this sequel brings this week. Tetris is one of those games I've always personally just been able to sink hours into, and this hybrid for sure brought a bit of a new challenge along with it. That for me is never a bad thing. Here though, it seems it's not moving too far from the original, but will introduce some new modes. We're getting a skill battle, which introduces a team system where characters, they can add their own perks to your strategy, a new story adventure to work your way through, leagues are then being added to online play, and then we also get challenge mode, which basically includes endless Tetris or endless Puyo. I'm always down for Tetris, so an easy day one pickup for myself. Monster Sanctuary next, and this one's coming from Team 17. I love the look of this. Team 17 have been on a roll recently when it comes to just finding absolute gems to publish, and this to me looks like it could be another winner. It's combining monster taming with Metroidvania gameplay, and tell me that does not sound awesome to you. From what I can tell though, here you'll use the monster's skills for your actual progression. Let's say there's something wooden in front of you, you could call a fire monster to burn that down. It seems then as well the combat is turn-based, and you'll be building out a team of 3 monsters for 3 versus 3 battles. This one even has online multiplayer, so yeah, it has me curious. I'll be keeping an eye on reviews to see whether it's going to be worth the add to the library. So by far the biggest game of the week now then, Doom Eternal. It's finally making its way to the Switch. Weirdly, it has no physical release at this time, digital only, so it does mean prepare to make some SD card space. This one, it's coming in at close to 18 gig in install size, but I'm still willing to sacrifice that much space. It's an award-winning game, and rightly so. It's one I actually played on the Xbox at release after this build was delayed. Just can't wait to see what Panic Burn have done to put this across, as I gotta say, it's a seriously impressive game, and at times from my experience, I just don't know how they're gonna manage it. Here, Hell's armies, they've invaded Earth, and you are the Slayer, so basically just go and get to work. Supporting up to 3 players, which is kind of an unusual number, but that's what the eShop says anyway. I'm still just really excited and somewhat nervous to see how this one turns out. If it works though, like shooter fans, it's an absolute must buy. No pricing on the eShop yet, but call the numbers at the top of the screen, an educated guess based around a typical AAA. So on the 9th then, a quick mention, Ghostrunner sees its standard release. This actually released last month to absolute confusion, but just know you can already pick this game up for the same price. The only difference is it's coming now with some cosmetic like DLC. Just wanted to mention it because if you intend to pick it up this week, I'd grab the other version, not this one. It's the same price, as I say, and you're going to get that DLC. Just know this one, it looks nothing like the trailer I am showing you now, sadly, and I do have a video over on the channel that I will link in the pinned comment down below, just to set some more, let's say, realistic expectations. As a massive shmup fan then, AI for sure has my attention. Low price, a 20% discount as well, and then they've even got a demo on the eShop. So yeah, I'm going to download that immediately after this. That is how you do this the right way. Let us check it out, check out the game before we buy it. It is a vertical shooter, but it doesn't look like we can rotate the screen, but it's promising 20 missions, epic boss moments, and then of course upgradable weapons and no doubt like pickups. Honestly, I'll probably spend my cash here purely because I like the way they're doing business with this free demo. It shows confidence in what they are putting out to the world, and if you know the channel, you know that I'm all about that. Pixeljunk Eden 2, and first off, huge launch discount here. It's offering 34% off. It is available until December the 17th, but this one, it is a sequel, hence the 2 in the name. I believe the original, it was on Steam and PSP back in the day. This is from the team that also made Pixeljunk Monsters 2, but here we're getting, well, I'm not really sure what we're getting, honestly. It seems to be like a collectathon where you swing your way through this world while collecting something called Spectra. It's an exploration of life and colour, and yeah, that sounds awesome, so I'm down. I'm going to go day one for sure. The first game, it was well loved. No doubt this one's going to probably be loved just as much, and I'm pretty confident we'll see a limited run games release of this very game. Here though, it's all about the music, the visuals, the gameplay coming together in a unison. It's artistic. I love this sort of stuff, this sort of creativity when they put it into a game, so I am for sure checking it out. Tanuki Justice, now another one that didn't really stand out, and then I read the description, the opening line, a combination of platforming action and bullet hell gameplay. So I can tell you now this one will be frustrating as hell, that is a guarantee. Topping it all off though with pixel graphics, we basically have a run and gun game where you're taking on the role of the Tanuki brother and sister, and you'll be facing off with a ton of enemies in feudal Japan, promising then both single player or local 2-player. I'll be checking out reviews and hopefully it is solid. It sounds like a great combination of genres, especially given the fact it is offering 20% off, and that's available till December the 24th, so we can at least see some opinions before we go ahead and buy. Our penultimate game of the week then, and I'll admit things started strong and we're heading into the depths of indie at this point, but Alt Frequencies. It's an acquired taste, but this comes from Accidental Queens. That's the team behind A Lost Phone and then Another Lost Phone, and I've played neither, honestly, but this just sounds really unique and an interesting concept. Here we basically get an audio mystery game where we must open the world's eyes to the truth, which is basically we are stuck in a repeating 3-minute loop of time, and these people, they just don't realise. Promising over 20 voice actors and a very clean looking visual style, I'm curious to hear some opinions on this one and just see how people take to it. I think it could be great for on the go gameplay, but I for sure won't pick it up until I've at least seen some coverage. So the final game of the week then, Warplanes World War I Sky Aces. This was actually a free-to-play cell phone game with microtransactions, but a paid version released on Steam, and the opinions, I gotta say, they seem pretty decent for the most part, so I'm gonna be taking a look at reviews. I do personally love a good air combat game, so I'll always at least, check them out. Here we find ourselves taking on the role of a pilot in the first ever air combat scenarios. We will have multiple planes to play with, they all have their own unique upgrades, but then it even has a mode where you can just be the leader and focus on resources, hiring and training pilots. Sounds like a really unique combination, so it's another one I do want to see some opinions on. Sadly though, I will say, kind of surprising as well, but it is single player only. And that is it. I think the big ones for me personally, Tetris, Doom, and then of course Pixeljunk Eden. Not that I can really work out what it's all about. What will you be adding to your collection, if anything though, this week? I do expect to see a lot of Doom comments down below, and probably more than a few people that are going to be a little bit disappointed with the fact it is digital only and it's going to require 18 gig of space. With that then, like a shout out to the patrons of the channel. They're going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it down in the video description below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.